Did Givenchy give us what we wanted with their new pressed powder, or did they bring us another nightmare reformulation like they did with the loose powder? Hey y'all, it's Heather, and I'm so excited to be talking about the new Givenchy pressed powder today. I hope this is a beautiful, mattifying, pore blurring powder. I loved the original loose setting powder from Givenchy. I have it, I treasure it, I love it, and they decided to reformulate. They fixed something that wasn't broken. They made a radiant powder that honestly still haunts my nightmares. I have a full video on that powder. Listen, we're not even gonna go there. Check out that video if you wanna see some of my favorite loose setting powders. You wanna see that powder in action, everything. Today we are focusing on the pressed powder. This is the Prisme Libre blurring and color correcting matte pressed powder. I did buy 2 shades. I bought this shade right here, which is shade 3. This is gonna give me some brightening, some color correcting. It's gonna just really help me look awake when I want that extra bright effect. That's what this colorway is for. This is, what did I say, number 3, but I also bought the shade number 4, and I use this shade on the day today when I want some color correcting and I want some brightening, but I don't want it to the high level that number 3 is for my skin tone. So we're going to be testing these. I want to show you. I've been wearing this powder for a while now, a couple of weeks. I'm gonna test it for you. I'm gonna show you this powder side by side with my original beloved loose setting powder from Givenchy. I want to show you this compared to NYX, my favorite drugstore setting powder, and next to the Charlotte Tilbury, which is another super popular setting powder. And we're gonna see which one is best. Did Givenchy do us right? Because this is an expensive powder. Givenchy says this is a natural matte finish, where they had changed it to a natural radiant with the loose. So I love a good mattifying powder. I'm oily skin, I'm 37 years old, I'm living in a humid place. So matte, blurring powders, all day wear, oil control, I love these claims. Something that I do love about Givenchy pressed powders and their loose setting powder is they have a ton of shades. So depending on what you're going for in brightening, you'll probably be able to find a shade that works really well for you. Again, my perfect shade is 4, and then when I want something really brightening, I'll go with shade 3. I am of course wearing my powder today, and I will share my full review, but first let me show you the demo. To start off, I have on my foundation and my concealer already. I chose products that I know I love, and I will be using these for each demo that we do of the powder, so that if something happens, we will know it's not the foundation, it's not the concealer, it's just the powder. So for foundation, I'm wearing my Luminous Silk Glow Foundation from Armani. I love this. I've been using it for years. I know how it performs. And for my concealer, I have on my Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer, another one that I absolutely love. So I want to keep those consistent as we test out this powder so that you can see and you can know what the powder is doing. So we're going to start with our pressed. I'm going to use shade 4 for this demo. This is a color correcting shade for medium skin tones, and this is the shade that I have in the original loose that I absolutely love. It works really beautifully for me. I really love to apply my under eye setting powder with a puff, so that's what I'm going to use. I have a clean puff. I'm going to pick up a good amount of this powder, kind of making sure I get into all of the colors, and I'm going to press it on. This is supposed to mattify, set everything, kind of control shine, blur pores, and I hope it does, because that's what the original loose did for me. And I want this to be just as good. I do not need another horrible powder on my hands. I do not need another reformulated, shiny, tacky mess. And you can see how that's looking. Like, that's looking so nice. I've been using this, I've been testing it, I've been trying it, but I want to demo it for you so that you can see how it brightens, it sets, I'm mattified, I'm blurred in here, which a powder, unless it has like a radiance to the powder, it is going to blur pores because the light's not going to bounce off like it is over here on my wet cream cheek. So I'm just going to press that in. I really like to kind of go back and forth, like this way, and really make sure I get my under eye completely set. I'm going to go ahead and take this up to my forehead too, because that's going to bother me that it's not set. Now I'm going to go in to my original loose setting powder. Loose setting powders are different than pressed, right? Like we know that. They're usually a little more intense. So I don't expect these to be the exact same, but I'm hoping I have something that's coming close, since the reformulation of this loose was so not it for me. I picked up way too much, but that's okay. I'm gonna work it in and then we will brush away the excess. I'm just so sad that this powder, it doesn't exist anymore, because the new version is a radiant version. It is nothing like the amazingness that this was. Okay, let me just kind of brush off the excess a little bit, because I did pick up too much. So over here we have the new Givenchy pressed powder, and over here I have the old Givenchy loose powder. So looking at myself already, I can tell that these are good powders. I can tell. These are looking so nice to me. I'm definitely getting that brightening effect, that kind of color correction. The loose is maybe just a bit more smooth. I do love setting my under eyes with a loose setting powder. I recommended my favorites in the video where I'm comparing this powder to the new, but I think that's looking really nice. But over here with the set, it's looking really nice. It's looking really nice. Like they're definitely redeeming themselves with this one. They are definitely redeeming themselves, because this looks really nice too, and I'm so happy with it. So again, this is shade 4. I want you to be able to see this is shade 4, because in the next demos, I'm going to be using the lighter shade. I'm going to go and do some things. I've got things to do today. I need to finish up my makeup, and I will come back so we can kind of see how this wears, and you can see kind of how it is with other makeup, smile, like make some facial expressions, see if anything settles weird. And then we will compare this to the NYX and the Charlotte Tilbury, but I did want to do kind of a check-in once everything is complete. Okay, y'all, my makeup's been on for a little bit now. You can see my under eyes are looking really great, in my opinion. I mean, listen, I'm not like 16. I'm 37. I have some fine lines, and this is not settling into any of them. I'm still looking matte. I'm still looking nice. I'm super happy with it. I do think the side with the loose powder is a little more blurred, but I expect that from a loose powder versus a pressed. So here we go. And now I want to jump in and show you comparisons to other powders. I want to look at this powder next to the Charlotte Tilbury Under Eye Setting Powder. I do have this powder in both yellow and peach, but I want to use the peachy shade because it's newer to my collection. I'm really loving it. Same formula though, and I want to show you this side by side with the Givenchy. So I'm going to put on the Givenchy again. I want to show you how it applies, everything like that with the puff, and the Charlotte Tilbury. Now I do feel like going on, the Charlotte Tilbury powder is a little thicker, but it's not too thick. If I'm just comparing the two formulas, I do feel like the Charlotte Tilbury is maybe a little thicker, but I do feel like it gives me a little more brightening. I feel like it has a little more coverage. I mean, that I'm using that word very loosely because it's just a little less sheer than the Givenchy. So I think they both look really, really nice. But if I'm picking a favorite between the two, I'm going with the Charlotte Tilbury. I do think I like that one a little bit more. I think it looks a little bit nicer. But the downside with the Charlotte Tilbury is there's only a few shades. It doesn't have as many shades in the under eye setting powder as the Givenchy does. I mean, the Charlotte Tilbury, the peach and the pink, right now you can only get in these limited edition compacts with the blush. So that's a downside for me. Price point, still pretty neck and neck between the two, you know. And I know that these from Charlotte Tilbury are limited edition. I have a feeling that the under eye setting powders are going to be a permanent addition to the line. Maybe not in this packaging, not with the duos. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like these limited edition things are Charlotte Tilbury kind of testing the waters, and then we'll see these carry over to the permanent line. I could be wrong. That's just my prediction. Now I want to show you the Givenchy compared to my NYX HD finishing powder. This is a favorite powder for me. If you've been here at my channel, you know I go through these. I've used it, repurchased, used it, repurchased, used it, repurchased. It is a holy grail for me. And I want to show you this side by side with the Givenchy. So of course, I'm going to do the Givenchy again for you so that you can see it on the skin, pressed in with the powder puff. And each time I'm doing these demos, I am using a clean puff so I can really make sure I'm not interfering, but I'm gonna press that powder in, really work it in, make sure it's setting my pores, everything like that, and I am gonna set on the other side with my next powder. And I have to say, like, immediately, I feel like I can see a difference. I think the next powder looks more smooth, it looks more matte, it looks more brightening. And the thing is, this NYX powder is $10. Like, there is a reason I've been using this powder for years. I've used it to set my under eye with a brush as well, and it still looks just as flawless. I just love really, really working things into my skin with a powder puff, because I feel like with my oily skin, if I can take the time to work a powder in, really press it into my skin, I'm gonna get a much longer wear. So that's why I like to do it that way. But side by side, I just feel like the NYX does give me a little more coverage, a little more blurring, a little more brightening, and it's only $10. But where NYX does not compete with the Givenchy is in the shade range, okay? They just don't. They just don't compete on that level with this HD powder, and I wish they did. I really wish they did. I think that NYX should expand the shade line. It's something that they've had in their product range for so long. I wish they would bring out some more shades. I know they have other powders, but this HD powder is seriously like unbeatable. That is my under eye setting powder, pressed powder recommendation. I think the NYX is amazing. I really, really think Givenchy did something good with this powder though. It's beautiful. I don't regret my purchase. I'm gonna use it again. And listen, I am a person who loves makeup. I have no shame in my game. I will go wild in a Sephora. I will go wild on an online makeup order. Like, I love makeup. More is more, okay? Like, I don't care if I have so many setting powders that I love. If a new setting powder comes out, I want to try it, because I'm always testing and trying new things, and I just have so much fun trying makeup. Honestly, I'm a makeup lover at my core, so I do not regret my purchase at all. I'm gonna definitely be using this powder, and I'm so happy that this is actually a good powder. That loose setting powder was just not it. It was not it. So I'm happy that Givenchy has given us a good powder, and we have multiple shades. I'm really happy that I bought the 2 shades. I'm happy that I have like a typical under eye setting powder and a brightening shade. I really do enjoy this powder. Not regretting my purchase whatsoever. But again, if you do not want to spend that luxury price on this powder, you don't need to. The NYX is beautiful. It is so beautiful. It will get you. But if you are curious about this powder, I hope that seeing it on my under eyes and like side by side with 2 other powders, I hope that that was helpful to you. I really love bringing you like in-depth good reviews so that you can really see how products perform. And I think my under eye is looking really great. Like, I am into it. I think my under eye is looking good, and I love testing makeup. I love trying makeup. I'm gonna pop up some more makeup videos here for you. I would love it if you would stick around, you would hang out with me, you would talk makeup.